遥の子だ。
なら父親は、この子の父親は誰なんだ。遥人の価値ってのは何だ。あの子の父親は一体誰なんだ。遥の息子を守ってやるのは今俺しかいねえ。帰るんだ。みんなが待つところに。
おじさん。
At the heart of it, Yakuza 6, The Song of Life, is a story about family. What defines a family? Or a father? Is it blood? Is it love? And when push comes to shove, what are we willing to do for those we would call our family? Yakuza 6 sets out to explore those themes. After retiring from his Yakuza life as fourth chairman of the Tojo clan, all Kazuma Kiryu wants to do is live a life in peace with Haruka, the closest thing to a family he has. The two set out to open an orphanage on the Okinawan coast they call home. But Kiryu's past and his Yakuza ties have done nothing but come back to haunt him. These ghosts threaten to tear them and their new life apart.
桐生一馬をカムロ町での暴行傷害並びに器物破損の容疑で逮捕します。
At the onset of Yakuza 6, Kiryu reluctantly agrees to spend 3 years in prison to hopefully wash clean his past for good. But while those 3 years are relatively uneventful for him, on the outside and without him, the lives of those he's closest to begin to unravel. Haruka Sawamura was only a little girl when she met Kiryu in 2005, and the two have seen their fair shares of both joy and strife. In 2012, Haruka set out to become an idol, a treacherous path she had to take that would lead her to a final choice: distance herself from Kiryu permanently, or abandon her dream. In front of thousands of fans, Haruka chose Kiryu, but that choice was not without consequence. When Kiryu returns from his 3-year sentence, he discovers Haruka has gone missing. Faced with tabloid scrutiny and social media bullying, Haruka did the one thing that her mother told her not to do: run away. Kiryu sets out to his old stomping ground, Kamurocho, in order to find her, but he's too late. Haruka has been in an accident, but when Kiryu reaches the hospital, he gets another shock. In the accident, Haruka had sacrificed her own well-being to save the life of another, her son, Haruto. The only thing Kiryu has to go on is a picture of Haruka taken in the sleepy port town of Onomichi, Hiroshima. And he has more questions than answers. Who is Haruto's father? Why was Haruka so far away from home? And what did she do there? Kiryu heads out to Onomichi to discover the answers. But Hiroshima is a land of contrasts. Lively, yet abandoned. Bright, yet shadowy. And in these shadows, Kiryu will discover a Yakuza organization that would kill to protect its secrets. But Kiryu is not the type of man to be intimidated.
Oi. あまり時間がねえ。早いとこ済ませてんだがな。行くぞ。
SEGA!
We're here.
It's us. It's Friday.
It's Friday.
We totally made it. This is like the week to officially say we made it.
We
It's
made
out.
it. We're there.
It's out. It happened. Oh my god, guys.
We've at this point we've climbed to the top of the mountain and we're standing there just like
surveying our
taking
land.
it in, taking it in. Hey guys, thanks for joining us. It's Friday. SEGA Live. My name's Sam Mullen.
I'm Scott.
We're gonna play some
Localization producers talking about localization of Yakuza 6. 'Cause
Yeah.
it finally dropped.
Yeah. So we're gonna
Really
play
excited.
We're gonna play a little bit of Yakuza 6 and kind of like talk at you guys about it, like while we're playing it. So,
I'm just gonna hit straight up new game. You guys have pretty much seen all this content in the demo, so now you kind of get the localization commentary over it, which will be hopefully pretty fun.
Yep. So yeah, let's. I guess we'll jump in here.
Just do it, huh? Let's
How you
go.
guys doing today? Like.
No
so
business? We're business free. We're ready to just go.
We can start going. Well, I guess there's a lot.
This music's a bit repetitious. Let's go.
So yeah, there's a lot going on this week. There's a lot going on last week.
Oh.
There's all kinds of stuff going on. Legend.
I'm not gonna play on Legend. Normal's fine. Normal's fine.
You guys enjoying Yakuza 6? Everyone got your copy? All your glasses arrived okay? Hopefully.
Ice Stones.
Ice Stones.
There's been a couple claims of nonsense with those, but it's been. I mean, for as many as we shipped, it's pretty good. Pretty good.
Pretty good. So these are our cool tool tips.
Yeah, we showed.
We actually, if you guys didn't hear, we put these in. These are not in the Japanese version, so.
Giving you guys context on everything that came before it.
Yeah.
Onomichi.
Onomichi.
Starting off this cold open in Onomichi, which is actually pretty cool.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you remember that Sam had like literally lived here.
I used to live in Onomichi. I've actually been in places. I've been dragged into places like this by people before, so these exist.
大丈夫ですか?
Yeah. So when we've had Y6 in our house since
Yeah.
long before the Japanese release.
Yes.
Since
It was like even when we first saw it, it was like in pieces still. Like there were stark parts that just wouldn't really
parts
like.
that were just not in.
Yeah, we had to like use debug to like skip sections of the game because like it would crash or like wouldn't work. But when we first saw this stuff, like I was saying on the other streams, like there's no English subtitles or like that, so I'm having to like pause it, use the pause feature to like
Me
stop
and Sam
it.
had to take this into a secret room and like talk about it to like discuss how we're gonna approach
Yeah.
things. Like you've got this like right from the bat, you've got this Hiroshima accent.
Yeah.
We're like another
And
accent.
as someone who actually speaks Hiroshima accent, like as in sort of a, because that's where I lived and like I even to this day it sticks with me. This is not actually real Hiroshima. This is not really what Hiroshima people sound like.
It's like a
It's like what people think Hiroshima people sound like. So from a Japanese consumer point of view, when you play it, you're like, oh, this guy's speaking. That's the Hiroshima accent. But if you actually understand Hiroshima, you're kind of like, that's not quite right. But it's the same thing as like when people like imagine like a actor or something speaking like a southern accent, for example, but not really. It's not. If you're actually southern, you're like, it's not quite right, but we get it. It's that same kind of thing. But it's still really fun. And the reality is that this whole style of speaking Japanese does sound really like rough and kind of
rough and backwoods and that's
kind of
like that's kind of where
aggressive.
we approach our new font.
The things that make us happy, right?
Yeah, so like Sam's kind of giving me all this detail about like what the characterization is,
what it is.
of the Onomichi accent or the Hiroshima accent, and it was up to me and let me just shout out to the whole. Because we had a team on this one. This is the first game where I had like a team of people, not just like Dirk. I love you, Dirk.
We love Dirk. He's like a mascot.
I know.
We love
he's
Dirk.
great. But I had a team of people who had never touched a Yakuza game, so it was like, oh my god, it was scary. All these guys like literally saved my life because I was when we were starting the localization on this project, I was knee deep in Kiwami rewrites and fixes and bug fixing and all that stuff. So these guys literally took away my work and did it. So Dan, our lead translator, Nagisa, who had been come over from Kiwami, and Mino, all three of those guys knocked it out of the park on the translation side. And as you know, we then handed over to editors. I was originally scheduled to help edit, but John literally hulked out and did like the main story.
Yeah.
clan creator, live
Live
chat,
chat.
half the sub
That's
stories.
it. That's
like,
his mark
this
on
is
the
like
thing.
John's like stuff.
Yeah.
And then
And,
Rich Brady.
and I really like. I mean, like the thing is the thing I'm really impressed with is how different you guys were able to make the Hiroshima accent from Kansai. Like,
Right.
Like
That was the-
it
that
is
was the
really
key.
different. Like, it sounds different in your head and it feels different. Like that's the thing I think is really cool. So, we got questions. Let's get into questions. So, Derek L 1991 is asking. What's the reason every bar in Onimichi is called Snack Something? Is that a local thing? Okay, so actually, a snack is actually a type of drinking establishment. So, you know, like, in specific, what a snack bar is essentially like usually these closed, small, drinking venues that can seat maybe like somewhere between 4 and maybe 10 people max, and it's essentially there's usually a woman who's the bar owner, the bartender, and they serve drinks and small little snack stuff, and it's usually conversation driven. And the woman, the barkeeper, the bartender or whatever, is sort of there to basically...
The mama.
The mama is there to like facilitate conversation either between them and the person or even help people kind of meet each other. So it's actually like a type of bar. And you want since you want people to come in who aren't necessarily like it's kind of weird to like step into one of these places, so people advertise like what kind of establishment is on their sign. That's why it's snack whatever, and usually it's like the person's name or like some kind of like fancy,
in
like,
Japan,
whatever
female owners of bars are called mamas, and male owners are called masters. We keep the mama, we never kept the master. I don't know how that happened. It was just sort of a legacy thing. But yeah, this accent's more or less driven by John, who basically came up with this, and I helped him refine it a little bit. It's definitely got some like more words to it. I feel like we add a little texture to it. There's the Y comma things, the you don't kind of thing, or there's a lot going on in this accent that we really wanted to make sure it differentiated from Kansai, which is the most important part because you have both accents essentially. We were hoping this is kind of like a one. We can't handle much more accents if we were to try to render a bunch out, because at the end of the day, what you really have to have is it still has to be like parsable. We call language parsing. When you read this, you can't. If you're taking time to stumble over the accent, we're failing at our jobs, because you don't have long to read these subtitles as it is.
Yeah.
どうにか間に合ったな。
Someone wants to know the unlock code
For the safe?
for the safe.
It's out there, right? Like it's technically out there.
So let me actually get some. Let's unpack. Some people may not even know it's there, so let's unpack that a little bit. So there's a safe on top of New Serena that has a key. There's a code that you have to input. Unlock. In Japan, the way this code was used is that if you actually went to Onimichi in real life, and you went up...
It's like an AR thing.
Yeah, it's like AR, and you went up to the top of the ropeway that's in the game, and you went to the observation... I want to say it was the observation deck, which you can see in the background in Onimichi, in the game. That building actually exists in real life. You can go there. They sell ice cream. It's an observation deck. And I think that during the promotional period, what they did was they had a picture, I think on the web page of Onimichi from the game, and they put like a key in like this weird place on the map, but in the game you can't go to that place in the game because it's like blocked off. So all the Japanese users are like, what is going on? You can't, there's a key here, but you can't actually get there in the game. What's going on? And people figured out that, they needed to go to the place in real life, and there was like a sign or something on there, and on the back of it they had put a code on it that unlocked that safe. Now, we don't expect you guys
To go to Onimichi.
to find a code. That would be unreasonable.
So the code was hidden.
We hid it somewhere else.
I believe it might even be in parts.
It may be in parts, but it is definitely a place that we have been talking about for like
What?
years and years, it seems like at this point. Might be all about. It might be somewhere in those comics somewhere.
What?
But if you've been reading them, like the good fans that you have, you may have spotted them. But that's as much as we're going to talk about.
Yeah, so back scrolling up to someone who was talking about, yes, we've rendered out the word Aniki in this one. I got a lot of shit from you guys in Kiwami when I basically translated that to an amalgam of Sir.
Yep.
And this game throws it out there as like there's a scene in chapter 3 where a character is like, Kiryu, I want you to be my Aniki! You have to be my Aniki! And it's like, what were we gonna do with that? Were we gonna be like, you have to be my senior,
Yeah.
my big bro?
Yeah. It actually was a problem.
It was like, at some point, just had to be like, okay, y'all know what Aniki is now? Great. 'Cause here it
It
is.
was actually one of the driving factors for the tooltips. Actually, that was one of the things that was influencing that. But, yeah. So I remember, man, when we were talking to this scene, like I was having to kind of translate it in real life, man. That her standing up on stage and doing all that. Oh man, that was hard to.
Yeah,
live
I've already
interpret.
seen this all in Y5, and in fact, my team was like, "You think everyone's gonna think the graphics suck if they see this? Because this is all PS3 stuff." We're like, "Guys, they're Yakuza fans. Like, they've been here. They know this.
Okay.
It's gonna be okay."
The same thing happened in Yakuza 0. Like,
Yeah.
it was the same thing. So it's all good. Yeah.
Yes, and they did used to use a lot more Japanese words in the English dub of Yakuza 1, Oyabun and Aniki and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But
At the time, that was kind of like I felt that was
pretty avant-garde. Actually,
Yeah, I thought it was pretty avant-garde. There was a lot. I really believe, like in the Yakuza, we always talk like we always say things about the original dub and all the original localization of Yakuza 1. But the reality is that like I think from a localization point of view, like there was a lot of interesting stuff going on there. There was really interesting. They were
regardless
really,
of how it turned out.
Yeah, I mean, it would have been nice to be able to have like a dual audio track, and then I think a lot more people would have been satisfied with it. But it was PS2 game. It's a DVD. You can only put so much data on a DVD.
Right. Yeah, it was a PS2 game, guys.
Yeah, but I think that was a pretty, like you said, a pretty avant-garde approach.
Yeah. This hospital, man, you guys have like this is the same hospital like they've been going to since Kiwami.
Forever.
Like, that's the one Nishiki's in front of being like, ah.
They had to remake it all
Yeah.
over again just for this game.
Gee, your polygon count's gone down. Excellent. What else? Yeah, so like I said, my whole team kind of jumped into this and just started flying, and then what happened at the end was that I kind of came back in and retouched everything. So, for John, who had been never really like into the Yakuza business thing, like I'd done 2 whole games, and I was able to come back and like spot check the entire main story. And I don't know. I mean, I have a problem where I'm like, oh, this is not how I would write it. Let me redo it.
Oh yeah, but that's it. So let me give you guys a tip. This is a management overseer tip. If you ever or like have a team of people, you gotta always fight that working under your reporting to you. You always have to work on that itch to come in and like fix things that you don't necessarily agree with. Now, it is your prerogative as a team leader to do that, but
I'm in a weird position as a project leader.
you kind of learn how to.
Position. And I absolutely let that happen, but I did need to, like, at the beginning, especially at the beginning of the game, before they kind of started to understand the characters, that, Date was coming out a little stiff, and the relationships weren't there because they didn't know him, and so I had to go back in and finesse that a bit. There were certain scenes, like the boardroom scene between Somiya and Sugai and Kiryu that happens like right at the early of the game. Like that's my jam. That's my bread and butter. That's what I do to these games. It's like I go in and finesse those scenes, and so that was that was my role here. And baseball. None of the freaking team members had ever heard of a baseball game before, so I was like, all right, let me handle this. And no one should link to that questionnaire.
Yeah,
do not link to that questionnaire.
If you can't access, the survey guys, we talked about this last week, but put your game in your PS4, go to the live tiles, and take it. If you're not doing it that way, you're doing more harm than good.
We want to hear from
Trust
your
me.
opinions about Yakuza 6. You are the people we want to talk to.
Do not put it on forums. Do not paste it places. Do not tell people to go take it so you can get a thing.
Watch the spoilers, guys. No, don't talk about the end of the game here.
Do not do that. If you've played the game, open it up on your PS4 and take the survey. If you don't do it that way, you're doing more harm than good. Because the data gets all fuzzy and then we have to throw it out because people don't believe when we say things based on that data. They go, well, this survey was just not correct. So please help us. Do not pollute our data.
My son is here.
話が早くて助かる
But Frankie, to answer your question, no, you cannot remove the numbers from the mahjong. Just because you can read them doesn't mean everyone else can.
Right.
That was the whole point of that. Like, I mean, we've basically made mahjong playable for the rest of the audience, and I'm sorry that they look a little. I got one of the comments from my QA team too, like, "Why'd you put numbers on it?" I'm like, now half the world can actually play mahjong, and you're complaining that it ruined your aesthetic value.
Yeah, that's.
I get it. I get it.
That's the.
Yeah, watch the spoilers, guys. We will kick you out of this chat if you're going to spoil the game. It's only been out a week.
それから桐生一馬の病室はそこだな
Coming for Kiryu.
Coming for him.
何やと
Coming for him. Resting the guy while he's like knocked out.
警視庁のものですどうかそのままで桐生一馬をカムロ町での暴行傷害並びに器物破損の容疑で逮捕します
Ooh, that's it. 逮捕します
Deep bass.
Mad dog Shima. So how you guys doing? How many people in the chat have beat the game so far?
Don't talk about
Don't
it.
talk. Just
Don't
tell.
talk
Just
about
tell
it.
us if
wanna
you
know
like.
yes or
Yeah, I've
no.
cleared it. I saw the last scene. We'd like to know that.
The property destruction thing, that's completely inaccurate. They basically need, in this conversation, Date's going to go into it, but like, they just needed to pin the blame on that whole Wi-Fi mess on someone.
Right.
あれは警視庁のメンツを立てるためのパフォーマンス
Like, I mean, if technically, if you picked up an object and hit someone with it, that's property destruction.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure someone can pin some property destruction charges on Kiryu if they wanted
世
to.
間から見りゃ近江も東上会もヤクザに変わりねえ東上会関係者からも逮捕して両成敗に
You may recall from Wi-Fi that ended in a giant, massive Yakuza brawl in the middle of Theater Square.
Right.
And that's what that was just kind of showing on the TV.
Right.
But, you know, you had to be there.
確かに桐生さんは東上会の元4代目ですけど今回のコースを収めるのに一番体張ったのもあの人だなんとかならないんですか伊達さん桐生さんの担当刑事でしょ
誰が桐生担当だ人聞きの悪い
そもそも桐生さんだけ逮捕されるってのもどうなんです
Yeah, I think just going back to the live chat thing.
That's all, John.
Yeah, like
I didn't get to look at
the
it.
fact that the fans seem to really be responding to that, I think, is really like
せっかく終わったヤクザの抗争に警視庁が火つけ
like
直したってこと
vindicating
にな
for
りゃ
John because he spent like
上の
3
首がいくつあ
weeks
っても足りね
like watching those videos in the office.
He literally walked away and be like, if I never see a naked girl again, I don't care.
It was just like, I mean, like you guys play it for like a little bit, but like when you're having to watch the
え堂島の竜
same
で通った伝説のことだ
videos
いくら足やろうが
and
仇から見りゃ十分裏社会側の人間なんだよ
and over and over
And picking a different option.
and picking different options and rewriting and watching it again
また刑務所に入ることになるんですか
and again.
まともな
It's
弁
like
護士が
it's a little
入ら
intense.
ずに済むはずなんだが
It's a little intense. So.
And regarding screen tearing, guys,
He would go home so like exhausted every day, like mentally
歯切れ
exhausted.
が悪いっすね
Poor guy.
that is just sort of a
俺も桐生とは
byproduct
付き
of
合
the
い
fact
が
that we are in a new
ないんだ
engine. Kiwami 2's
今
basically
俺あい
addressed
つが
that
何考えてるかなんとなく
But no, we
想
can't
像でき
fix
ちまうんだよ
in this one.
Yep. It's done.
Divorced 7 times, yes. John's whole claim to fame will be live chat.
Yeah, that'll be his. That's gonna be his thing.
This whole thing is awesome, actually, for people. This is why we kept saying, like, you can kind of start here
Yeah.
because if you want to get caught up, you can.
Yeah, I mean, because really, like at the end of the day, they present all the characters that you really need the full impact out of the game here. You need to know who Haruka is. You need to know who Date is. You need to know who Akiyama,
And
Daigo, and the kids are. Like if you understand that,
As long as you understand that, you can play this.
and that's why we were talking about the comics at the end of the day. Like I think if you guys have read those comics and beat the game, you'll kind of finally see like how it all cuts, how all that sort of stuff connects together. So if you beat the game, go back, read the comics, beat the game again, read the comics again. You'll kind of see like maybe hopefully you can kind of see, you can actually see the vision that we had for the whole thing. I'm hungry. I didn't get my donut today.
Oh man, they have bagels today. I know. I was every other Friday's bagels. I'm like, miss me with the bagels. See, all this explanation. That's all you literally need. In fact, you don't even need to talk to anyone but Majima. I'm gonna move on.
Majima is the most important character. Thank you, Derek L. 1991. He said he got it.
He got it.
When in the epilogue, when all of a sudden the whole comic thing came full circle for him.
Right.
So yes, it worked.
For at least one guy.
One guy.
Daigo.
Our bro, man. Oh, I love Daigo. Daigo is just. I respect Daigo's struggle.
We all cried at the epilogue, man. That was again, no spoilers.
That was hard.
It was tough. John did a great job on all of that. And like I said, I think last week, all I did was coming to make it sadder.
Coming to make it sadder.
よかったら少し外の空気でも吸いに行きませんか
Yeah, 600. He's not always asking. He needs the support. He needs the support. Any good leader relies on the support of his team. You know, like that's gives it makes the good decision. That's how it works. So.
無所に入るって話です
There's still things in here where I read it and I'm like, that's not how I would have done it, but that's how John did it, and that's okay.
That's okay.
That's okay.
That's okay.
家族のところに戻るためだ
It's okay.
沖縄の
But that's how it is. I mean, that is interpretation, and that's one of the things I always tell tell the people on our localization team that it's like, look, it's very easy to get into the localization criticism mindset where like you look at someone else's localization or something and you're like, that's not how I would do it, and therefore it's garbage.
Yeah,
like
that's BS.
Like that. That's some low level. That's low level play, guys. That's low level. That's low level play.
There's so many different ways to say things. In fact, one of the things I did for Nagamo, and this is literally my contribution to Nagamo, because Nagamo is constantly saying the words "bakarare," right? And John had like, oh, it's his catchphrase, and he localizes it the same way every time. I went back and I made it a different word every time. Okay? There's a million different ways to say dumbass in English. And why keep that the same way when it could be almost to prove a localization point, right? That you can interpret that thing like almost any given way. And now it's turkey, it's dumbbell, it's dumbass, it's little shit. There's
Yep.
Which is I think that added a lot of flavor to Nagamo.
Yep. Yep.
俺も日の当たる場所を歩ける気がするドームステージではるかは堂々と俺のことを家族と呼んでくれた
Eat that government food.
They say that all the time. They're really into like describing jail as eating shit food.
Eating shit food. You gotta eat the shit food. Eat the shit food. 6 months later. God, this scene was hard to get through in interpretation.
Why's that?
When we were remember. I remember this scene. I remember like when I'm watching the scene, I'm like, okay, sure, fine, whatever, straight face. But if you have to stop every line. Okay, what she's saying is like memories of Kitty were carved into her heart, and she can't. It's like it was really hard, man. It was tough. It was really tough.
Sam was struggling through.
I was struggling. I'm gonna take a moment.
Yeah, this is
よく来てくれたね
all these opening scenes are just like
変わりないか
my family, my
そ
people.
んなにすぐは何も変わらないよ。朝顔も相変わらずみんな元気にしてる。
As a result, like that's one of the tough things for like I think for voice actors or whatnot, because like
みんなもおじさ
like
ん
if
に
you've
会い
ever
た
been
がってるんだけ
if
ど
you've ever been in a voice studio session, there are
沖縄の
times
人たちは
when the voice actor will like read lines and you're looking for the correct truth, but then there's a line that they'll read, and it's literally
マス
you're
コ
like
ミに追われたりはしてないか
we need to take a break here.
たまに
You know, like you
そういう
get
人
teared
もい
up.
るけど
But they're so professional because they say it without getting they like
Incorporate the emotion.
Yeah, they capture the emotion, but they like
今の
but
何
they
も
got to
知ら
kind
ない
of get it out without like actually being affected by the emotion. Like
What a
it's
professional.
really hard.
Voice acting's hard.
It's hard, guys. It really is hard,
それでも3年
especially when you're like doing a dub over, because it's like you know you're having to like pull all these different like aspects
こんな
together
俺
and
の
make
ことを
and
家
sell
族
it.
と呼んでくれ
It's
たお
tough
前
stuff,
に
guys.
Matching someone's expressions and their lip flap and their timing and oh my god.
こっから
Dubs
先
are
3
crazy.
年
Dubs
は
are hard.
そのための時間だ
So who out there took my advice and watched watched SEGA Fest stream
私は
last week? Did you guys get excited about that? That was pretty fun.
芸能界に入って
I had a good time.
Looked pretty
お
fun.
じさんのことを
Good time.
家族と呼べないのが辛かった
I mean, I think within the Yakuza fan base,
芸
there's
能
probably
界
some
に
people
入
out
った
there
こ
who
と
are
を
really
後悔
excited
してる
about
んじゃないの
the Shin
そ
move.
の
Oh
逆だ
man,
よ
the Shin moves.
Yeah, I mean, you guys are really
おじ
excited
さん
about
を
that. So.
This will
家
date me a
族
little
と呼べ
bit,
なかった
but
あの時
I
間
was
があ
actually
ったか
working
ら
retail when the original Shenmue came out. I
私
was
は
working at a game store, right? And we had this employee named Phil.
初めておじさん
Phil.
のこと
Phil
を
the Dreamcast fan.
Phil
right?
the Dreamcast fan.
And
心
so
から
like
思う
dudes would come
There's
in.
there's one in every group, right?
Dudes would come in and be like, "Hey man, let me get a copy of Madden."
おじさんと
And
一緒
Phil
に
would
い
be
る
like,
ことが
"Well, have you played
当
Shenmue?"
たり前だったから
The guy's like, "I don't even own a Dreamcast." And he's like, "Well,
深く考えたこ
if you
とが
let
な
me
か
show
っ
you
た
10 minutes of Shenmue, and if you don't walk out of here with a Dreamcast and Shenmue, you're just
だ
not
か
a
ら
gamer."
今おじさんと一緒に
The 10-year-old kids would be like, "Can I get a copy of Tony Hawk?" And he'd be like, "Well, have you played Shenmue?"
おじさんと私
Like
の
we had to sit down to Phil and be like, "Phil,
家族
stop
が
trying to sell Shenmue to like 10-year-olds and PlayStation owners and jocks. Like,
What
not
is that?
everyone's gonna buy Shenmue."
What was it? I mean, is that a teen-rated game? Like, what is the original
一
rating
緒
on
に暮らし
Shenmue?
始めた
Yeah,
ら
I think it was teen. Yeah.
恥ずかしくて
Phil
That's
didn't
okay,
care.
that's okay.
Phil didn't care.
It's got Sonic in it, kid.
そうか
You can get Sonic
Can I
gotcha toys
can
out
I
of it.
skateboard in it? No, but you can drive a forklift. Let me show you 10 minutes of Shenmue. If your mom doesn't come back and buy you a Dreamcast, well, I don't even know.
Yes. Yes.
Phil was great. I think his career ended in a restraining order.
But he moved. Hopefully he sold some.
He moved some
Dreamcasts.
Dreamcast guys. He
Because
certainly
we all,
did.
everyone in this chat, we all know, like if you
ほらできたよ
bought a Dreamcast, your life was changed forever.
片
So
付けて
カージこんなとこに漫画置くなよ
These kids, all the interactions with the kids are so great. Like seeing them in their
ほら白
kind of mature
ご飯の
forms.
時はタブレットし
The
まって
little way
ちょ
Shiro
っと待って
is checking his
checking his
stocks.
stocks.
終わるんだ
あんたまさか本当に
I gotta believe. This is not a confirmation, guys. This is just as a fan of the
シミュレー
series,
ションだけ
like something I have to believe. But I gotta believe that every single one of these kids is gonna show up in future Yakuza games as like some kind of like some kind of side. So either well, not even maybe like not even sub story, but like a side, like they become the other story like pinpoint characters. Like the kid with the stocks or something. He shows up and it's like there's gonna be a stock mini game, and he's the guy in the map that you talk to access the game.
俺今日はおかわりいらない
He's all driven by
こ
like
の後大城と筋トレする約束してきた
Uncle Kaz got me where I am, and I have to do this thing. I don't know.
That'd be great. I don't know. We don't know about the future of Yakuza, guys. It could go any number.
We're
of
just
directions.
speculating as fans on as much as fans as you guys. So
でも野球推薦の話が来るなんて三つを頑張ったんだ
前はコージが教えてやってたのに
this guy's gonna be
Yeah, I love Taichi.
Taichi's gonna be show up in like pro wrestling
That'd be amazing.
as like a guy.
He's in the
勉強
Coliseum
の成績とか
This guy's gonna be
in the baseball.
some updated baseball batting cage game.
家のことって
Oh, here it starts to get serious.
Man, party, buzzkill, bro, buzzkill.
バカ。いやでも実際さ。大丈夫だって。俺が朝顔の子供ってことはみんな知ってんだから。その上で来た話なんだ。だからもし話がポシャったとしても、それは俺の力不足ってことだからさ。
This game really does a great job of exploring like the far-reaching effects of being Yakuza.
Right.
Which is just cool because I think a lot of the games have been localized to like what the immediate effects of being a Yakuza.
Yeah, I mean the thing is that
sub here.
That's a very important aspect, I think, of Japanese culture that I think often people don't really get, because especially like I think in America there's a like your problems are your problems and my problems are my problems, and my problems can't boil over into other people because that doesn't make any sense. But in Japan, everything's connected, and if something goes wrong, it affects everyone around you, and there's a very low level like cultural kind of sense of that. For example, let me see if I can find some examples. Like crimes. Like a DUI. Let's talk about like a DUI in Japan. So if you got a DUI or something in the States, you get a fine. Maybe you get your license taken away. That kind of stuff, But in Japan, you get a DUI, people don't want to associate with you anymore. You're often forced to quit your job because the company doesn't want to be associated with that.
Jeez.
Like there's like all these like social things that get impacted when people kind of step out of line. There's like this massive fallout from it, and this touches on that. That's why this sort of sometimes it seems a little weird, like. Like why is Kiryu's like relationship with Haruka having such an effect on these kids? It seems so disconnected, but it's not. It really isn't. Like in Japanese culture, like that is what happens. Is like this sort of thing pops up, and now all these kids are going to be affected by this, and they get all these sort of eyes on them, and it would really affect their future because no one's going to give a kid the benefit of the doubt in Japan. They're just like, yeah, we'll skip up this person and go for something else. So, yeah, I mean, it's a real thing. It's a real thing, and it's very interesting because it's in this scene specifically, like Haruka actually she essentially grows up here because she understands that. Decisions and actions actually have consequences in real life, and everything's not just like stars and hearts and roses and stuff. You can't just have like ideals. Like there's actual impact. So this is it seems like she's running away from the problem, but that's not actually what's happening. What she's actually doing is she's doing the whole like taking responsibility in her mind. She's taking responsibility for the situation,
but she's running away.
But in the same way, Kiryu is as well.
Here he's in jail.
No, but he accepted that.
Right.
He's
Keijimane. She's thinking that she's Keijimane, but she's kind of not.
It kind of depends. It kind of depends on the Japanese context. In her head, she doesn't think she's running away. She's removing danger from the group. She's not escaping responsibility. She's removing what she sees as endangerment to people that she loves, which is ultimately no different than what Kiryu is doing.
Right. All I'm saying is literally the last words her mother told her were, "Don't run away. Don't do that." She forgot.
She's following her new role model there.
This is the new song, guys, and yes, we know it's not there, but listen. This is an amazing song.
It's a good song.
Listen to that part when Kiryu looks up at the sky.
They made it.
Oh my god.
It's good, guys. They captured the original feeling. And just so we're all very clear, because I keep seeing this repeated incorrectly on the internet, that these songs, Yamashita songs, were written specifically for this game. That is not true.
They were licensed.
Those songs have been around for like 30 years. They're not made for this game. They were brought in
The first time I heard it, I was like, oh, it's not so. The second time I heard it, I was crying. Because it takes a listen. It takes one listen.
Yeah. I think we can all agree that the sound team for the Yakuza games is industry leading.
This part. It's coming. Oh my god. Oh my god. Right there.
Right there. Whew, it's good.
It's
good.
soaring.
It's soaring. And it's so fitting for like the final chapter. For
Yes.
Kiryu.
Everything about this feels very final chapter.
Yeah.
It's just great.
Really pulls it together.
Did you just give him a straight? I actually really like Date in this game too. He's, in previous games he'd been kind of like relegated to this side, like here's an information type character. But
Yeah.
he has his own agency in Y6. He's very like he's on top of things, like, and he's affecting the plot,
Right.
in a lot of ways, which is cool.
I can't. Mixing up with his bros, his people.
Yeah, Akiyama keeps it real.
It's like his own family. It's like his own family.
Yeah. This Date just being a badass. It's like, I don't want to cover my mouth.
じゃあ放火ってことは消防はもう向かってんだろうな避難の誘導
You know what was really weird? Actually, the last time I was in Kabukicho, there was actually a fire. There was a fire. They had to block up the street and bring in some people. Some restaurant had an issue, so.
アジア街が全部焼けちまう
Yeah, man, Akiyama's allowed to be cooler than Majima. There's so many great characters. It doesn't matter who you like in this game.
Yeah, man, it's
There's so many.
there's
They're all
something for
great.
everybody. Something for everybody.
Let's forget it's 2-5.
Knuckles Hot S. I don't think you can get that shirt.
This shirt is Y5. It's ancient.
Yeah, you can't get
ど
them.
うですかいい眺めでしょう
But you can. I don't know if they're still selling, but there were some Yakuza 6 shirts on the Sega shop. So if you want to get a shirt, you can go
Yeah,
check it.
they're there. Someday we'll be wearing those, and you'll be like, "How do I get that shirt?" I'm like, "Oh, this is Y6, man. It's ancient."
それじゃあ我々と
I remember when we were creating these shirts. We had a brand manager by the name of Stephen Akana, who actually is currently working at Bandai Namco and on some projects over there. But I remember he was telling me like it was really hard to piece the part because like in shirts these are all like different like pieces of fabric, and to get the drag and so
Over
it like
the shoulder kinda
over the
deal?
shoulder so it
Yeah.
crossed that, he was like, God, that was really hard. So that's the thing I really remember about the Y5 shirts, because usually we used to just like print them up the front or whatever, and so it's really easy, but to actually get them wrapping over the shoulder was like really difficult.
Hell of a prologue, wasn't that? This game does have some cutscenes.
We do cutscenes.
We do cutscenes.
We do cutscenes. God, I want to go to Okinawa.
I bet. Oh man, I love this look for Kiryu though.
God, this scene right here is like this. I think when I was playing it, earlier this week, this was the first time I was like, okay. It's when Taichi comes out.
Yeah, it is.
Taichi,
The
man.
hug. The
God,
hug.
man,
Oh,
it's
God.
fucking hard.
だいぶ背が伸びたな
This reunion, amazing.
I don't think. I
驚いたか
don't know. I gotta say, I don't think you can really get the full feels from this if you don't have kids or you don't have nephews or something. Like when you kids run out to you,
太一
oh, this is
This is it, man. I don't even have kids or nephews. I have a cat. But I mean, no matter what, you're gonna feel this. You're gonna feel this. Taichi for best orphan. Yes.
お前ら大きくなったな
I mean,
seen
it's,
these guys
it's just
in
the
forever.
feeling of like, you feel everything's okay, everything's safe. Like Uncle Kaz's back, everything's okay, everything's right.
And the like, there's almost like a glisten in his eye.
Yep.
Maybe that's just the graphics.
お姉ちゃんは
Damn.
一緒じゃないの？
そうだよ後から来るんでしょ
いや一緒じゃない はるか出かけてるのか。
何言ってるのおじさん。だってはるかお姉ちゃんおじさんのそばに住んでるって。
Oh no, the plot begins.
そうだよ、そういう話だったよな。そうだろ、あやこ姉ち
Yeah,
ゃ
I
ん。
got found out.
ごめんなさい。ごめんなさい。
Yeah, the faces in Y6, the new engine
はるかお姉
faces
ちゃんが
are
朝顔を出て行ったのは
yeah,
3
incredible.
年前。
This scene's real tense too. I love it. It's like
最初は
it's like mini
電話くれ
Tojo
てた
clan,
け
like
ど
sitting at the table having a
1年くらい前か
sit
ら
down
は
talk.
全然来なくなった。お姉ちゃんから連絡がなくなっておかしいとは思ってたんだけど、おじさんのそばにいるって言ってたから。
はるか姉ちゃんにもう一回電話しなよ、今すぐ。
連絡はいつもはるかお姉ちゃんから公衆電話でかかってくるだけだったし、携帯は朝顔を出た後すぐ解約したって言ってた。
なんで俺らに何も言ってくれなかったんだよ。いつも姉ちゃんたちは俺らを子供扱いしすぎなんだよ。
ごめん。でもみんなを不安にさせたくなかった。それにもしかしたら本当におじさんと
It's like I'm like speechless. Like I don't even know what to say.
We're just
Just
watching.
too-
We
just too much.
It gets, you, even as I've seen this scene 1,000 times, I'm still
な
like,
んでだ。
oh man, it's so
なん
good.
ではるか姉ちゃんが出てい
So much
かな
tension
きゃいけなかったんだよ。 俺たちうまくやれてたろ。
はるかお姉ちゃん、泉たちのこと嫌いになっちゃったの？お姉ちゃんは私たちの重荷になりたくなかったんだよ。
何それ、どういうこと？
Yeah, the magazine was actually pretty rough. Like, 'cause we,
Yeah,
we
this was really
subtitled the-
hard. This was really
subtitled this
hard.
part, like when Haruka
Can you
first sees it.
pause this when it comes up?
I don't think he sees it because we've already. Oh, it is there.
Okay.
Yep.
So I remember we stopped this.
Yeah, we
And we stopped this and we're like, oh god, what are we gonna do here? I mean, because there's all these like this K right here is referring to Kiryu, right?
right, which is
And then
just
there's but
anonymity
then
kind of thing.
but it's interesting because like Haruka's name is there, but Kiryu because he's a criminal,
お姉ちゃんは
he's not. But Haruka's a
自
public
分のせいで
figure because
朝顔の
she's
みんなが変な目で見られるのに
like an idol.
見られ
Like
なかった
there's actually a lot of like subtle texture that's in there
あの
that
時は特に
We just couldn't.
見つ
There's
め
no time.
there's just
There's
no time. We
こ
just
とがわから
can't.
なかったし
We'd have to replace the whole magazine, but then it wouldn't look.
それじゃ
Then
俺の
it's
せいかよ。
Right.
Kiryu doesn't read English.
Yeah. We talked about that. We were like, should we just make the thing English? And we're like, no.
お前のせいでも
Yeah,
Haruka no
it's
se.
really that one is really tough.
俺のせいだ。
おじさん
だから俺が必ずはるかを探し出
Dad
して
mode activate.
Yeah.
この家に連れて帰る。
Talk to the kids. All the plan. These objectives. Let me just talk about these
Oh,
objectives.
yeah,
real quick.
you guys did pretty good
Yeah,
job on these.
because you know what?
Because this is not because it's a little different in Japanese.
In Japanese, it was a bit redundant. It would be like the primary objective was like talk to the kids, and the sub-objective would be like talk to all the kids.
Right.
And we're like, Japan. can we? The first thing we did was like, can we just not put the secondary objective in?
Right.
And they were like, yeah, sure, just don't fill it in. We're like, okay, great, problem solved, right? And we get the alpha in, and like the primary objective's there, and then there's a bullet point for the secondary objective, and they're like, we're like, can you take out the bullet point? They're like, no. You didn't tell us that. And we're like, this is
Because
classic
that requires them to recreate the 2D the
whole asset,
graphic
yeah.
UI element, and they're like,
分かってるけど
what do you think? We think this stuff just makes itself?
家族には本当の
We're like, okay, so they're not going to take out the second bullet. We need to come up with something to put in that secondary thing. And so this was one of our ideas, was like, can we kind of get inside Kiryu's head a little bit, spell out his objectives, spell out his thoughts about things, give players a little bit more context, since you guys know what's going on. The writers, Japanese people know what's going on, but not necessarily Western players are going to be as in tune with what's going on.
Right.
So they're like, well, send us some samples. What do you mean? So we did that, and they're like, oh, okay. Yeah, do it. And so now we have these basically Western written secondary objectives that are in Kiryu's head, giving you his thoughts about the matter.
Right. So I mean, it's kind of like if you guys play the previous games, you know how like if you leave Kiryu standing by himself for too long, he always says his objective at the bottom in his own voice. It's kind of similar.
Yeah, basically all we did with that.
はるかは必ず連れて帰る。そうしたらみんなでお前の試合を応援に行くさ。その時はいいところを見せてくれ。
And we changed the dog's name back to Mame, huh?
Yep.
Mame.
At one point he was Rex. We talked about the I know, the Morning Glory thing. We've talked about this like every stream. Now it throws some of you guys off, but you know what? We had to rip that Band-Aid off.
We gotta fix it.
We had to fix it. Like, we usually wouldn't go back and fix those kinds of things, but again,
yeah, that's not Mame. That's Mame. His name's Mame. Mame is just—it's like a common dog name in Japanese.
Yeah.
Means bean.
My original justification was like, Kiryu has basically encountered a cabaret club called Sunshine, and I could not fathom that we could potentially be telling new players that like, yeah, he named his orphanage after a cabaret club. Like that was just so not it, right? Now, Kiwami 2 is happening, and he's literally encountering cabaret Sunshine, which is just adds more like justification that we changed it.
Right.
全然気がつかなかったよ。
そうか。
まったく。はるか姉ちゃん、何でも気にしすぎなんだよ。おじさん、はるか姉ちゃん見つけたら
I
ガ
love
ツンと言っ
like
てよ。
the texture
俺たちはる
in
か姉
this
ちゃん
the
のこと全然
orphanage's
気に
like
してないからって。
woodwork and like I can imagine what that floor feels like under my feet. Like it's so real, man. Like it's
everything.
Oh, but watch what happens when he goes inside.
Oh yeah.
Watch this. No
Woo!
shoes.
Woo! Magic
now
shoes.
He's got shoes.
Magic shoes.
Now there you go.
You will not be wearing shoes inside a house in Japan.
No,
so
that would
guess
never
what?
happen. That would never happen.
All right, which kids
Convertible
are not
shoes. Convertible shoes.
Losing track of my game here.
Yeah.
No. Oh, they're all marked in blue. I'm smart. I knew that.
Isn't there one? I feel like isn't it Yakuza 3 where like it's always the last kid that you can't ever find is in the bathroom or something like that? Isn't there something like that? It's like everyone gets. You have to talk. There's another scene in Yakuza 3 where you have to like talk to all the kids, but you can never find the last kid because he's in the bathroom or something like that.
Fully voiced audio was like, oh no.
Yeah, that's not, yeah. We don't like that. But I've been seeing a lot of people really like the fact that all the sub stories and everything's fully voiced. We appreciate that you guys appreciate that, but on a localization side, it creates a lot of challenges on our side. It makes it so some of this we can't use some of it takes a couple tools out of the smoke and mirrors toolbox that we like to use in localization.
Switching things when they make sense because Japanese is kind of back to front in some ways. It's a lot of things we have to do to make it work, and you just don't get that when it's fully voiced.
Yeah, I mean like to give it an example in the Japanese language. A commonly used like reveal tactic in a sentence is like this thing and this thing had this happen to it. That's like a Japanese sentence structure, right? But in English we would be like this thing had this happened to it. You know, like right? So as a result, like the reveal, the way the language opens itself to the user is completely different in Japanese and English, and the pivot points are different. And so when things are not voiced, we can like pack this into a way that makes sense for our people. A great example is the one we literally just saw an example of that like 20 minutes ago when the cop came into the Kiryu's room and he was like, Kiryu, for these crimes, you're arrested. You know, like you know, like that's a Japanese.
English, you'd be like, you are under arrest for this, and this.
These things, and we would play up the things as part of the the what? How could that be? And that's how the language would unveil itself. But when everything's locked into having VO, we have to kind of go out of our way to reveal things in the same way Japanese reveals them. And sometimes sometimes it's okay, sometimes it's a little awkward, and sometimes it just doesn't have the same impact in English. So as a result, we lose impact when we could potentially have more impact using our own language. So,
連絡取れたの？
いや
but
連絡先が変わった
but so the con is we lose a whole bunch of like toolbox stuff.
ダメなら
The pro is you guys get to hear the entire game
直接カムロ町に行
with
って
voice behind
探
it.
す
If
必要
that's
が
your
ある
thing. So
でもそれじゃあ
And no, Kiwami 2 is not fully voiced. Yakuza 2 is not fully voiced, so makes sense. All the sub stories are back to being text boxes, which I love.
そろそろ晩ご飯の準備しなきゃ。あ、おじさん。
晩飯の準備か
And we did it. We took a much more cinematic approach to the subtitles as well. We
手伝え
didn't
ることはないか
take the time to render out any laughs or sighs or parentheses sigh kind of thing. It was just you hear that in the audio. What we're putting in the subtitles is straight length.
which is actually an interesting topic. I mean, I don't know if you guys follow that kind of stuff, but it's actually an interesting topic in game design and accessibility, where you find a lot of companies who are doing things like including the speaker name explicitly in the line. And they're basically treating the subtitles as closed captions
ちゃんと
rather
会って
than
話せば
just like
戻ってくるさ
game text associated with a VO line. So there's actually a whole bunch of like industry side like discussion on best practices and how that should be handled. But currently we just swap in the English text for the Japanese.
Club Adam is not in Kiwami 2.
じゃあ
By comparison to what you get in Kiwami 2, that's like, oh man, guys, you haven't seen the cabaret storyline in Kiwami 2. It is
白なんか全然うちのこ
You're
と
not
言
gonna
わ
miss
ない
Club
くせ
Adam.
に。カムロ町に行くんでしょ？おじさんが行ったらまた危ない目にあったりしない？
秋山って男さえ見つければもうカムロ町にいる必要はない
Getting dragged back
あ
to
まり
Kamurocho.
長居することにはならねえさ
Poor Kiryu.
はるかお姉ちゃん見つけてもあんまり怒っちゃダメだよおじさん。
分かってる三尾野球の練習頑張れよそれから太一
So I'd like to hop on the hype is raising an interesting comment about
今度はそう長くは待たせね
when the characters look kind of like a little static in the game, and
そうか
there's a reason for that, and why you feel that way, why it stands out in this game much more than previous games. So in previous games, what would happen there is you would just have those lines would be unvoiced. They would have a static camera and a big text box filling the screen. But because in Yakuza 6 they tried to move everything to be more cinematic, they can't go in and put like actual full cinematics on every single little thing that would traditionally have a
Hand
text
wave or animation kind of thing.
that would traditionally just be like a text box driven dialogue scene. And so as a result, since they're it seems like your brain tells you like this looks so hot. This should be like a full. I'm expecting a full cutscene, but in reality, it's just the modern version of like a text box with just the character like standing there with the text kind of coming across, and you know it makes those scenes stand out more. But ultimately, what that would be traditionally is just like a text box cutscene. So but it does. I mean I understand where that's coming from. So.
What's this photo of Yoshinobu Tokugawa?
Who the hell
doing
is
here?
Tokugawa? Who's Tokugawa?
Who is that?
Who
Sam?
can tell me who Tokugawa is? If you can't tell me who Tokugawa is off the top, you don't deserve to play Ishin. So there you go.
Let's go ahead and take a selfie here.
We're
Right
doing
here.
here? Yeah, with the gate and everything.
The gate,
Sure.
right,
Yeah.
right. All right. Let's go look at that picture, see if anything turned up.
Did anything turn up? What?
Oh my god!
Oh my god!
This is the closest you're ever gonna get to localization.
Harsh. It's harsh.
The ghost of Ishin haunting Y6.
Ah! I'm scared. I'm scared. What's the line? there's I'm forgetting all my Japanese history, but there's like the guy who like got the mochi rice, the guy who pounded the mochi rice, and the guy who ate the mochi. I think it was it's Ieyasu, Nobunaga, Oda Nobunaga, and Tokugawa. Tokugawa definitely ate the mochi. Basically, it's during the Sengoku period where like basically Japan went through this upheaval, and someone basically like the two people did the groundwork to get it done, and then Tokugawa Shogun had the cake as a result. I think it's I want to say it's Oda Nobunaga. Ieyasu was the second guy, and Tokugawa was the third guy. I could be getting that wrong. Though, but I don't even remember that shit. I studied this and I can't really keep up with it. But, people are going to come into chat and tell me I'm wrong.
Well, I wanted to point out a line too. When Kiryu walks back into Kamurocho, this is the localization magic, right? You know, he's actually. This is one of the things I still kind of wrestle with. I'm the one who added the word "damn" in there, back into this damn scene.
Yeah.
It's not there, but it's in his face, it's in his tone, and it's in the theme of the game.
Yeah.
Which is why I had to read it. You know, there's a certain sense that. In Japanese, they're going to understand that's kind of the subtext of what he's saying. It's like that's the whole point of localization, is to make sure that you guys are getting that subtext. Dante dropping knowledge bombs on what's going on in Kamurocho. It does not sound like a good situation. Chinese triads are getting crazy.
He's like, you didn't know about that? Well, you're not getting the latest hot news while you're in jail, bro. I
kind of like the like retrocon fitting of Sugai, and you'd be like, oh, he's been around since the second chairman. Remember him? No.
Yeah. That was a guy like
even people are like, should I know that guy? And like, no, you don't. Dante being like, oh wait, I'm telling you a bunch of crime. Probably shouldn't tell you about the crime.
秋山のことを探しに来たんだ。もっと言うと、秋山に遥の居場所を聞きてえと思ってる。遥の居場所？遥は沖縄から姿を消したんだ。
I love our chat. Our chat's so entertaining.
We said the I word, now it's just gone. We lost him.
秋山なら遥のこと何か知ってるかと思ったんだが、携帯が繋がらねえ。実は秋山のことは俺も気になってた。
So Akiyama had a finance company because he got rich from the stuff that happened in Kiwami. That's right.
And it's gone. The triads thing too is an interesting topic of discussion because as you could hear the Chugoku Mafia, Chinese Mafia. Not only is that really long to render in the subtitles, it's inconsistent with the way we rendered out Snake Flower Triad. And in order to shorten that and in order to make that consistent, we were like, let's just call the Chinese Mafia triads because that's what you guys know them as.
Yeah.
And so again, we're not just making willy-nilly changes. We do respect the originals when we kind of come into this. It's only a matter of changing the things that would have a direct effect on the characters that we're kind of like, ooh.
Yeah. It's hard. It's a hard thing to straddle. You gotta be careful with what you're doing there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not it. When I was playing at home, I did.
Oh yeah, Serena.
I did
That's
the
same
damn thing.
We're just looking for Akiyama right now.
And I love it because Kiryu has the bump into things now, so the bump into things action.
Nope. They don't want me to go that way.
You gotta go in. Oh, yeah, that's right. You go in the front door, sorry.
It kind of varies by game. Like with the status of Serena, should I go in the back? Should I go in the front? Look at that instantness. Yeah. One elevator chip up and it's happening. That's what Dragon Engine's doing. Yes, there are other costs. We get it, guys. We get it. But man. So where we're going is amazing.
So we have a guy asking about the we covered this earlier in the stream about why the the orphanage name is not consistent, but we didn't change it. We corrected it.
That's it's literally Asagawa is Morning Glory, not
Asagawa is literally Morning Glory in English. Or in Japanese, sorry.
それより伊達さんと店の前で会った。この町も随分物騒になったようだな。
そうなの。ここ最近
Hi, Elk
いろんなとこ
plays
で
and
殺人
paints.
事件が起きて
How you doing?
本当に治安が悪くなってきちゃった感じよ。桐生さんも気をつけてね。
I love usernames.
I know.
Y'all got great
Everyone
usernames.
has great usernames.
ママに聞きたいことがあるんだが。
Cider terrorism?
何かしら。
秋山の居場所を知らないか。
ああ、秋山さんね。
She doesn't have a name. She's just
the mama.
The mama, right?
Yeah. That's weird. It's hard to localize around that.
全く姿を見せないのよ。変な事件に巻き込まれてなきゃいいけど。
Sometimes when in English it's like they would call them by their name.
この辺りではるかを見かけなかったか。
え？はるかちゃん？はるかちゃんがどうかしたの？
ずいぶん前の話だが、はるかが沖縄から姿を消したんだ。理由はいろいろあるんだが。
We are black magic wizards.
Yeah, that's what we do. We're
はるかを
magicians.
探すために。
That's how it works.
それは大変ね。
Best.
Look at all this Yamazaki on my back, man.
So
は
good.
るかちゃんとは
Makes
こ
you
こ数
thirsty.
年会ってないのね。
そうか。
The best and worst piece of feedback we get in the
でも
survey?
何か分かった
Probably
ら連
shouldn't
絡する
share
わ。
that.
No, we're not gonna tell you that. That's crazy.
People love it. People hate it.
All you guys need to know about the survey, guy. This is literally the most
い
important
つも
thing.
すまないな。
Is you answer it honestly with no agenda. Answer it truthfully with no agenda. That's all that matters.
What's in the box?
What's in the box?
Bob is now a
God,
box.
this box was a problem, wasn't it? The box was a problem, guys.
The box is a problem.
We can't.
We
That's
can't talk
we
about
can't.
that
That's, I
one.
can't really talk about it because it's all technical details. But god damn, there's boxes. The boxes were a problem.
Oh, why? Thank you. I can't say your name. I'm sorry. All right. We in the city. What up?
Rio Gascar. Yes, I think obviously as not only as localizers but fans of the series. Yes, we're very interested in learning more about Ichiban as the new protagonist of the series. You know, we'll see how that turns out. We're just as interested as you guys are.
Absolutely.
So
These fools picking fights with
し
Kiryu.
つけがなってねえな。
早く財布置いてけや。
Did I find out what the spiky frog is? Yeah, it's an Ishin.
yes.
What? Oh, I'm in a tutorial. My bad. Here we go. Get out of here. I love that move.
Love that move.
Defeat him. My bad. Get up.
Faz D, Kiryu is 47.
48.
48, sorry. At the start of the game, though, he would have been 44. Because it's 3 years before.
Right.
So it's when the game starts, he's 44, but at this point, he's 48. No, so he's 45.
He's 48 in Yakuza 6.
In Yakuza 6, but at the beginning, he's 45.
Right.
In Yakuza 5, he's 45.
Yes. And this year he'll be 50.
He's 50.
You can see why they couldn't really keep going with the guy.
Yeah.
What are we taking pictures of, guy? Hey. What? Oh, no. Oh, okay. Now you're gonna put your phone away now that I'm... Okay, fine. The city feels so alive. It's so good.
Yeah, we going back to the whiskey thing. We actually had an idea a long time ago. This is back when Harden was still around. We had this crazy idea to do this video where we all get all the whiskeys that are in Yakuza games and basically
Just drink them in front of you guys.
Basically drink them in front of it and then compare the localization of the Japanese to what the actual whiskey tasted like to confirm that the localization was accurate. And I think it was like we had like a bit of an HR issue or something. I don't know. It was a cost issue or something. It was just like
it was hard to justify.
It's hard to justify getting drunk on stream. Yeah, that was something we should go back to. We should revisit that.
Absolutely. Now Yakuza's popular.
EJ, make that happen, EJ. Social execution. We can everyone get online. We all get in the stream and a thing. We'll go through it like book club. Do like a whiskey club. Will 2 is asking me what my most hated part of the localization in Yakuza 6 is.
What? Why would you hate a part?
Why would I hate a part?
If Sam didn't like a part,
I would have had it changed.
How much of this did you actually get to see, Sam? I don't really know.
I did page through it. I don't think I engaged on this one as hard as I engaged on Yakuza 0, but I did see a good bit of it.
Okay, cool.
But I saw it like kind of early on. I think the stage in which I was kind of paging through everything was like kind of like alpha beta-ish time frame, and so I think there's been some stuff that you guys came in and made some changes after that. Because there's some stuff in there I'm kind of finding now that I'm at home and playing it. I'm like, oh okay, oh that's how they handle that, oh that's what you did there. So I definitely spent some time like reading a lot of like Naguma stuff because I wanted to make sure that I was like, I wanted to kind of
Nagumo's key in this game.
Wanted to know how that was turning out. So.
The most frustrating part of localization. There's a lot of frustrating parts. Maybe it's just when people don't believe what you need to do in order to make it right. Right. It's like you have a long, hard road to convince someone that like, well, we need to change the game a little bit to make sure this makes sense for our audience, and that doesn't always communicate like well because you're like it can come across as like we don't like what you did here when that's not the reality at all. It's just we need this to make sense. 2 of 7 is asking, do we ever feel pressure from above doing the translation? It doesn't really work that way. We don't get pressure from above. They really trust us with this.
Yeah, I mean, like, ultimately, we're responsible and accountable for how the game comes out in English on our side. We take that very seriously. But at the same time, we make sure that the dev team is being included and informed about what we're doing with their product. But at the end of the day, that responsibility falls on us. So it's not like we're getting a lot of top-down directive on like how to do our job.
Here's where the demo ended.
but and ultimately, I think that's probably for the best. If you have a good localization team is already engaging with your developer to make sure that everything's being done right. But I definitely would say that in my experience, typically when Japan starts making directives on how to localize things from Japan, usually that doesn't go very well at the end of the day. It usually ends up.
Yes, it's just bad news because they don't know the market.
Yeah, it just doesn't. It doesn't go well.
So yeah, if we were to botch the localization on this product, we would pay the price for that. Not Japan. Japan would be like, that's their fault. But we would never botch the localization of Yakuza product. Excuse me. I always prioritize boosting my sprint because I need to be able to sprint around.
Yeah.
I get so tired when he's like, But you should also definitely prioritize boosting your combo speed. That changes the whole game here. Like the battle system really unlocks with speed.
Uh-oh. something going on in the Twitch channel.
Oh damn! Hope you guys are in Twitch.
Hope you guys are in Twitch right now. There's some action going on in there.
This scene's good. I can see why they cut the demo off right before this scene because it's like it's hard.
Yeah, there's some. This is where it gets a little rough. I just saw a character that was basically like Haruka's body with another.
Oh yeah.
With a person head tacked on the top. Or at least that's what just glancing over.
God, Ed looks ill.
So this is a character that was like really tricky. That's really hard to actually fully express in subtitles only. So the one like translator's note on this character is that his Japanese is correct, but it's like accented, and he's obviously like speaking in sort of a non-native air. But it's like it's fully formed. He's not like having chopped up crazy sentences. It's just like accented,
which is impossible to render in an English subtitle, which is why he sounds a little generic, I guess.
Yeah, he's a little generic. Yeah. I mean, his Japanese is. His sentence structure and word choice is very generic. His only characterization comes in sort of his like diction, the way he says it. So like if you're a Japanese player and you're listening to him talk, you know implicitly he is a foreigner. So, but that's how do you do that?
Right. Yeah. The funny thing about him too is in Japanese his name is Edo.
Edo.
And we were like, is he actually named Edo?
Is it E-D-O, Edo, or is it Ed?
That's a question we had to send to Japan. Be like, Edo or Ed? Because we were calling him Edo for the longest time.
Yeah. But yeah, we got a response back, and basically it was because a lot of these like Chinese guys often have, especially international. At least in you know in this game world, a lot of the international Chinese guys have like English names because they're from the mainland or whatever. They're that kind of stuff. So that's why you know Jimmy Law,
Jimmy Low, and
yeah,
just kind of weird names. See, they're already talking about his accent.
Right.
あなたの口からそちらのボスへこれから起きることをそのままお伝えください。
Yakuza 6, aka Edo period.
Yeah.
Oh damn, escalation. This is good. I love that he's just like
you better shoot me, man.
Oh damn. Get them boys. Don't come into the Triad turf and then be like, can you stay in your turf, please? Come on, Tojo clan.
Yeah.
That's what happens without Daigo.
It's what happens without Daigo.
Daigo know better.
This is
oh yeah, this is brutal.
pretty ill right here.
これが採用界ボスからの答えです。
Oh, so we had a long discussion about whether to call the Sayo Triad or actually interpret
like snake flower.
Yeah, because snake flower. It's the what is that? Snake flower. Is it no, it's Jaka.
Jaka.
Is it Jaka?
Mm-hmm.
But they translate snake flower triad. But we had a long discussion about whether to like unpack the meanings of Sayo. But at the end of the day, Sayo doesn't really have like Jaka is literally it's the characters for snake flower, and Japanese people understand the two characters that are being used for that. But Sayo, like the Sai, I think is it was the Sai part. It doesn't really have like an explicit meaning in Japanese. It just has like it just sounds Chinese. And so I think at the end of the day, we were like trying to, can we interpret this? Can we make it like a something triad? But we ended up giving up on it.
Right. We talked to a lot of native Chinese speakers and it just wasn't working.
It just wasn't making any sense.
We talked to Japan about it. We're like, what were you going for here? Like,
and they're just like, oh, it's just supposed to sound Chinese or whatever. I'm like, okay.
Okay.
and also because you're hearing Sayo on the VO, we just ended up sticking with it.
I love this song. I don't know what's going on with this song. There's like some crazy screaming. People are like, oh, this soundtrack's not as good as Zero. Like, you need to listen to this soundtrack, guys.
Got some crazy howling in the background.
Yeah, it's like. Oh god, I meant to be facing that way. Okay. So many guys. Give me that.
Yeah, swat him.
Get out of here. Oh.
Get some of these knives. Get some of those Chinese sword things.
Yes. Oh, the knifey man. Stabs. 10. Oh, look at this parrying fool. Oh my.
Bounced.
I got bounced.
That's
physics going on.
That's a Virtua Fighter 5 game element there. Bouncing.
Oh my god, let me. There you go. Alright. I'm getting my ass kicked. This doesn't usually happen.
Not usually. Whoa. Apparently, Lauren has been communicating with us, but I had our things scrolled down. So
Oh no!
I was wondering, like, man,
Well, Lauren must have quit.
Lauren's being really quiet today, but then it was just me being a dumbass. Okay, so Rio Gaskar is asking if, since most of the characters are modeled off their voice actors, are there any chances that we could have our faces in the game? Well, we wouldn't we're not voice actors. We're not actors.
We would sound like jackasses.
We'd be like, hi, Q. I mean, it would be really awkward.
Yep.
But we have, I actually, for a separate thing, I actually did ask the dev team how difficult that kind of is, and it's just a process. It's just something you do. They could probably get it done in like the capturing aspect would be like, maybe like go into the studio for like a day and run the scans. And
I mean, we've got the wrestlers in here. We've got Paul Lim in here. It's just, they do that all the time now.
The voice recording is a different step, and then the targeting and all the mapping to a model is like a different thing. But yeah, it's something you could do. We could. If there was a reason to spend the money on getting me and Scott in the game, we could technically do that. But
it's not.
But looking at our view numbers, guys, honestly,
we're not drawing the numbers.
It's not going to be us. Get someone else out there who's going to draw more eyes to the thing. No one cares about our old mugs in the game. No one wants that.
Why toss in the NJPW guys? Well, why not? That's my answer to that.
Wait, what's the question?
Why put in the NJPW guys?
Because they're super popular with the target audience in Japan. If you guys don't realize, this game targets like blue-collar males in their 30s in Japan. And
people who watch wrestling. Because the moves are very kind of wrestlery and good.
Yep. So there's obviously a strong overlap between potential Yakuza fans and pro wrestling. So
I'm dying while Jackson saved me.
When this game, when Yakuza starts selling like far more units, and we can actually point to these streams as a reason that they're driving that many units, then we maybe have some leverage to get Scott and our faces in the game. But until that's a proven fact, and it is not, we just do this for you guys. When that's a proven fact, maybe we can have a discussion about that.
Did y'all catch the Millennium Tower Burger description?
No.
The explosion of flavor? Oh, God, guys, how'd you miss that? There's a Millennium Tower Burger now.
The food in this game is just looks amazing.
God, it gets me so hungry. What's going on here? All right, we're going back to Serena because we've got no information on Akiyama, so we're just going to go hop in over there. I think this is about where we're going to be introduced to Troubler. Which, how do you name it Troubler? Because they cause trouble missions. We basically in Japan it was just SNS. It was just like, which is what they call social media.
Yep.
And when you look at the phone, I mean, we didn't really have room for
Yeah.
social media here.
Yeah. SNS is it stands for Social Network Service, and it's just a common. People just use that. It refers to everything that's like Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Mixi. You guys remember Mixi?
No.
No one remember Mixi? No. Mixi was like the Facebook of Japan. Back in like 2006, whatever. During like MySpace era. It was like the MySpace of Japan. I don't think anyone uses it. Anyone out there using Mixi? Why?
What up, gentlemen? Excuse me. Oh no!
Oh damn! You just died.
Hammered.
That killed you.
No, give me that. Oh. No!
Interrupted. Counter. Counter hit.
There we are.
Oh,
there we are. Oh, hammer into the face. Hammer time. I missed my in-game Kiryu. That's all.
Okay, so Gio Gaspar has a follow-up on the Uncanny Valley faces. So give you guys some insight into game making. So one of the most expensive things to do in video games is to create assets. It's to create things in the game. In order to do all the facial animation for that and like make it so it looks amazing, there's a couple different methods that you can do things like facial capture. But give you guys some things about voice acting is that when people voice act, they're often acting with their voice, not with their body. So I've seen a lot of voice actors who have like really funny like quirks or tweaks, or they move their body like this when they're just trying to get out of voice, and their faces don't necessarily reflect what a real person will be looking like when they're saying the line, right? So not all voice actors can give good facial like capture if that's how you're approaching your game. So sometimes all you get is just the voice line, and then there's a lot of automation you can do to like generate automatic kind of face stuff going on, but to make it look like the really, really good stuff, like people have to go in there and like tweak move every little bone around and get that look. And it just comes down to like how much time and money are you going to spend on it. So I mean that's as with anything in video game development, it's like how much time do you have, how much money do you have, when you try to get it out, what are your deadlines, what's the scope of the project, because you can spend 10 years on working on your game and spend infinite money on it to make it look amazing, but at some point you got to kind of make it kind of like call where the stops are. So
yeah, the camera is often static in this. Oh, I have no I love that about
but that's cool though about this, when you go into like the ultimate heat mode or whatever, they basically it kind of almost unlocks like beast mode.
Yeah, right. People are like, oh, it's down to one style. Kinda. Extreme heat mode is almost like its own style. It's just gated by heat.
What's the most brutal heat action in this game in your opinion?
The microwave head. If you go, make sure you do stop by a convenience store. Take a fight in one. See what happens. Yep.
I always thought the random syringe off the...
Oh yeah, in Zero, mysterious syringe.
As someone who's like spent some time in San Francisco. Yeah. That's vile. That's vile.
This guy. Says he's from the Jinsei family.
Jinsei camp. Yeah, this is like low level.
Right? So if you go back to 1988 and you're in chapter 5, I want to say 5, where you start to work for Tachibana.
Yep.
You meet the bar owner who says he's being harassed by the Jinsei family. That would make this family the longest surviving Tojo clan family in the history of the Tojo clan, if they are in fact the same Jinsei family.
That we know of.
That we know of. Right.
They're just low level holding Kamurocho down. There's a guy. They're asking about. There's a white guy in the konbini.
Yeah, there's I think black dudes in the konbini now too, because that's reflective of what's kind of happening.
Yeah, I mean, if you guys if you ever go to Japan, you go to random convenience stores. It's a very common place for foreigners to have like part-time jobs or whatever, which is actually really weird as a foreigner, because sometimes I'm like, I'll go in there and I'll walk up to like buy something in a convenience store, and I'm talking to another foreigner in Japanese, and he's talking to me back in Japanese because that's the protocol. But at the same time, I'm kind of looking at him going like, I bet we could just speak English and this would be a little bit less awkward. But we're having to sit there and have a conversation in Japanese because that's the protocol.
Interesting.
Yeah, it happens.
So, as you guys may know, we've basically decided that after this stream we're gonna take a hiatus
for a couple weeks. It's gonna be a couple weeks. We do have some plans to have some new varied content, so you guys can come back and look at sort of the wider SEGA catalog. But we're currently kind of putting that together and figuring out what that's gonna be. Maybe you guys can meet some more people on our team, and so it's not just me and Scott. We have a lot of people in the office that work on kinds of different things, but we are going to be taking a break after this episode to do some other stuff, let you guys enjoy the game. But
yep. So it's about almost 12:30. Just want to wrap up Y6 here, I think. And
do we want to? Lauren's picking us to talk about our patch schedule.
Patch schedule, yeah. There's patches coming out, guys. As always,
which is not really patches.
It's not patches.
They're basically like content, free content.
Right.
Downloads. That downloads straight to your system through the patching system.
Every Tuesday for the next 3 weeks, because we dropped one on launch day.
Yep.
Give you a rainbow bun, and then there's going to be some costumes coming out that you can swing around in Premium Adventure. So yeah. On that note, I think we should take a quick break. We'll come right back with some goodness for y'all.
So we're gonna.
You mind? You guys mind if we?
So we're gonna cut for just a couple seconds while we switch gears and hang tight. All right?
Yeah.
All right. So we're gonna go off mic. We'll be back in just a minute. Give you guys a little preview of what we're getting into. All right?
お見事や。お近づきの印にお名前教えてもらえまへんやろか。これは失礼。わしは近江連合合流会2代目の合田隆二と申します。
合田。
わしもこうして腹割って話しとるんです。名前ぐらい教えてもろてもええやないですか。
桐生一馬だ。
堂島の龍、東上界の桐生一馬さんですか。
いや、そんな男は知らねえ。
極道の世界で竜と呼ばれる男は一匹でええんですわ。行くで。
ああ、手加減はしねえ。
Hey, what is this?
What is this?
What is this?
Did you get permission to do this, dude?
Kinda. I just said we are gonna do it, and then.
Oh, I don't think that constitutes permission. Just saying you're gonna do it. But I guess here we are.
Here we are. This is a snippet, an event demo, so to speak, fully localized at this point.
Y'all are lucky.
Y'all pretty lucky, actually.
Here we go. What's going on here?
Here we go.
So we're gonna check out some Kiwami 2 demo style sort of thing. Sneak peek. So
Yeah.
what do we got going on here?
We got half an hour.
We got half an hour.
We're gonna be dropping right into chapter 2. Kiryu and Daigo are on their way to broker a peace deal with the Omi Alliance, who has just shot the 5th chairman of the Tojo clan, Yukio Terada.
Yep.
This game.
So they're going out to like basically negotiate a truce.
Right.
5年前
Right.
誰に喧嘩をふっかけたんだ。
近江連合直参合流会2代目会長
God,
ゴーダリー
Daigo's so young.
今から会いに行く
We've dropped back to 2006. Kamurocho, we were just in 2016, so this is 10 years
バ
ago.
カだった俺はそいつの罠にはまったんだ
罠。
ああ5年前合流会はカムロ町にちょくちょく
Daigo's
顔出す
explaining. Daigo has now done some time. He's a criminal now too. He's explaining how he
登場
fell
会の
victim
幹部
into
だったら誰でもよかったんだ
Ryujigo's little
近江は
trap.
登場会をつついて関西におびきをする腹だった当時荒れていた
Product
Product
placement.
placement.
まんまと合流会の挑発に乗った
Just as it was in Yakuza 2.
Yeah. I don't think they make that anymore.
The rainbow
I don't
one?
think they made the rainbow.
Oh, interesting.
差しの勝負するため
I don't recall
関
seeing
西へ
that
飛んだ
recently.
だがそこで待っていたのは殺だった
Yeah, how old is Daigo here?
銃刀法違反ってパクられ
He was in jail for like 5, 6 years?
5 years. 5 years.
5 years, and okay, so he's probably in his late 20s,
比べりゃ
early 30s.
まだ短
Yeah,
い
something
方
like
だ
that. It must be.
俺はそのゴーダリュウジってやつに借りる
I mean, he's got to be, and he's like what, like 9 years
それを
separate from Kiryu then, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Because Kiryu was 20 and 88, and he was like 11, 12 or something
Yeah,
like that,
yeah.
right? Yeah.
言っておくが近江連合ってのは半端じゃね
Late 20s, they're saying.
え裏でどんな罠仕掛けてるかわからね
And again, we mostly worked off of the original game's localization.
Yeah. So,
But-
localization process, we imported the Yakuza 2 text, but
But literally went back line by line to re-add flavor that was lost, adjust certain contextual things. I would say that we, especially when it came to the Kansai accent, that we tweaked things. We had way more space to work with in the text boxes than
That's
the
right.
original did. So there's just things that we could put back in, flavor and content, and just finesse it. God, so
it looks so good.
Oh my God, I love this city. We were just in Sotenbori last week with Haruka's chapter in Y5, and what a difference a freaking day makes. Oh my God.
Yeah. All these landmarks, these famous
Yeah,
landmarks.
famous Sotenbori landmarks.
Everyone's all about this peacocking.
Everyone's all about the peacocking. Yeah, I wonder if we're gonna hit the peacock man.
Is that in this?
It might be.
Uh-oh.
That's what happens when you arrive in Sotenbori.
That's what happens when you let the producer decide what to show on stream.
いや
Okay, so we were talking about Uncanny Valley stuff, right? And so this is kind of what we're talking. I want you guys to A/B compare. So what's happening here on this thing is that every time you hit the button, it plays like a kind of an animation, and all the mouth movement is all kind of random. They just do this, and there's nothing to link up to, so there's no sense of being out of place. So that's the. I encourage everyone to compare the two games together to show, like, not necessarily to say like one is better than the other, but just to understand the differences from like a game development point of view, and a cost perspective point of view, and like how much time something takes to make it look right. Wow, man, there's a lot of English in this.
A lot of English in this game already, isn't there? Very happy with it. The team has been putting in a lot of hard work. We're wrapping this one up shortly. I love this lady. Kansai knows what to do with the plate.
Oh, okay. So we got some really interesting questions in the chat here. So hop on the hype. So what's the decision process when you put the size of dialogue subtitles in? I noticed that in a trend in gaming, subtitles it's becoming smaller and smaller. It's hard to play from a couch. So so there's a couple things to unpack here. So one, dialogue boxes. It's not like a Excel thing or like a Word document where we just type something and then we highlight it and change the font size. Like, it doesn't work. It's not that amazing. So usually we go by whatever the font size. I think industry-wide, they typically just leave the font size the equivalent of whatever it was in Japanese, and they just change it. However, for Yakuza specifically, we have been known to adjust that. And not only is it a legibility thing, but it's just a simple fact that, like, often we have these nice big text boxes that we want to, like, feel like they're being, like, fully utilized. So we actually expand the text to make sure that it's like, so if, like, the text box is like this big, the text isn't like 3 lines of text. If it's only this big, we have all this white space top and bottom. Like, what a waste. So we actually make a point in our games in this particular series to make the text a little bit bigger, to make it legible. But you're absolutely right. The text sizes are getting smaller and smaller. Part of that, I think, is because, like, developers just, like, sit really close to the screen and they lose track of, like, how what it feels like to be on a couch, you know, like 10 feet away from a television set.
I'm being asked how Kiryu had the money to keep the orphanage open, and Yakuza 5 literally addresses that. He's literally sending money back via the ATM.
Right. Doesn't that happen in here too?
This one he's actually keeping Sunflower open. He hasn't formed Morning Glory yet.
That's right.
And then you get to see the inspiration of how Morning Glory comes to be. You kind of feel that from that sub-story, like, Kiryu taking care of orphanages is like his jam. So yeah, sub-stories, all in here. Guess it's time to go get the line. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Ain't nobody got time for you.
Yeah, I mean, like, going the I feel like there's currently, like, this subcurrent in the game industry about UI text and, like, and scalability, that people are starting to kind of, like, devs are starting, various parties in the game industry are starting to identify that as like an accessibility issue. Oh.
The greatest line in gaming.
Here you go. So, but not to, like, talk about other competing companies' products, but I want to say that Monster Hunter actually added a feature to, like, adjust the text size for UI.
Oh, really?
Just recently, I was like, oh, damn. Adjustable text sizes. That's crazy. And actually, in the original Japanese, one of the accessibility things that they have in Japanese, I always thought was really interesting with the Yakuza series, is you can actually essentially switch between the Japanese equivalent of, like, serif and sans serif fonts. You can choose your font, your UI font in Yakuza, but we don't do that in our.
Kurokawa is one of my new favorite NPCs. Not gonna lie.
This guy right here?
Yeah.
So what is this guy's deal?
He just saw Kiryu beat that dude's ass. I revised a lot of his stuff. I loved him too much. Yakuza 2 really went out of its way to capture the Sotenbori, like, flavor and style, because it was actually the first time we'd been there. You know, 0 went back and redid it, 5 went back and redid it, but this is what is technically the first time for Sotenbori.
Rio Gaskar, so you're making Rio Gaskar's making a comment about how Dev is removing UI over time, and I'm gonna give you like a hint. They're not doing that to be immersive. They're doing that because it requires less localization. less text on screen, less things you have to change, money saved at the end of the day.
Less text is good on us.
Yep. Anything you can universally represent in one way without having to change how it's being represented for every language you want to include on the game, that is literally hours and money saved. So that's more likely the driving force behind that.
Oh, look at this. Is that the Grand? The Grand?
The Grand. The Grand.
Oh my God. Do they? Pocket tissues, why thank you. I think there was another NPC I wanted to talk to. Where's that person? Is it you, lady? No.
Yo, hold up while I talk to this woman. Just.
Ah! That wasn't her. I don't remember where that other NPC went. Maybe they're not this time.
Someone wants to see the pause screen.
Pause screen.
Can you go to like show some stat upgrades?
Very similar to Yakuza 6. Got some emails, got some inventory. It's more or less the
same thing as Yakuza 6.
This girl, this dude is savage. Damn. Wow. Talking. This is kind of a Zero reference, talking about what's going on at the Grand. Backed by a certain organization. Uh-huh. Welcome to the Cabaret Grand. Here we go.
Faz D is asking, does translating the game take just as long as the game, the creation of the game itself?
Can.
It can if there's enough text. It comes down to how much text is there and how much assets need to be swapped in and out to make it happen. There's a lot of. And how long does it take to check to make sure everything's in right? Is the amount of voice that needs to go in, the amount of art that needs to be changed, the amount of text that needs to be translated, how many languages are you going to do, when can the dev team get around to it, how long is it going to take to check? All these things must be considered.
Yep. Kiryu just got bounced out of the Grand because he can't get those VIP seats. What could that be about?
What does he need the VIP seats for?
He just overheard some dude.
Oh, he
talking about getting bounced out of the VIP seats.
Oh, okay.
Now he's suspicious, Kiryu, which is gonna be not always in his best interest to be suspicious, Kiryu. Oh, we are talking. Yes, pocket tissues. Thank you.
So someone's wondering how like in comparison to Kiwami, volume wise. This game's kind of almost like a little bit bigger than 6, isn't it?
Yeah, actually. Yeah.
Yeah, there's more content in this game than there is in Yakuza 6. More stuff to localize.
An entire cabaret stuff,
one of the things I keep seeing.
Construction shit.
Yeah, one of the things I keep seeing that I have to call out, and I think is kind of unfair to Yakuza 6, is I see in a lot of reviews where people keep talking about like this content was cut out of Yakuza 6 compared to previous games. That's not how it wasn't cut. It just hasn't been created yet. Like, you can't take content from the previous game, from the previous engine, and just be like, oh, now it's in Yakuza 6. Yakuza 6 is completely new, like ground up new, and a lot of stuff just can't be used. So nothing was cut, nothing was dropped. It just hasn't been created yet. But a lot of that content is created for Kiwami 2. So
just to show, this game is almost literally built to show you how fast they can go. It's like, it's happening. Like, there's so much back in this game. It is content heavy.
I mean, don't we have all the casino card games?
Casino card games are back.
All that stuff's back.
Mini games out the wazoo. Cabaret storyline. Clan creator returns.
With
Toilets,
better
for whatever
than
reason.
better than ever. Oh yeah, toilets. We're not going to show toilets. You're not allowed to show toilets.
Oh.
That's we save that for later. We got.
Gotta hold some things back, right?
Casino minigames are back. There's a lot of stuff that's coming back. So
These charge moves are amazing. Look at that. Look at that. Do that again and actually get him. Just charging triangle. And you can also charge square. Knock him out. It's good. The volume, the content, way more heat actions. Everything's coming together on this one. There are no clan creator codes for this one though.
Oi.
Here it is, actually. Okay. Deep cuts of lore.
okay.
Who remembers the name of the hostess in yellow from Yakuza 0?
The hostess when she's default yellow.
The hostess in yellow who gets consistently assaulted, groped. I'll give you a clue. It's on the screen right now. Going
crazy.
back. Like
That's
they
crazy.
pulled. This was in Y2, and they pulled that back for 0. That
Right.
I doubt a whole lot of people caught.
So they're asking like, why was Kiwami 2's localization so quick compared to the others?
It wasn't.
It wasn't. It's like Hellgast is indicating we're just sort of catching up with the backlog. So, this one, you guys have been working on this for a while.
Yeah, actually.
So.
I love Kurokawa.
All right, so we're gonna get to this scene, right?
Yeah.
This is what we're
yeah,
doing.
we got a couple minutes.
We gotta play this one scene, and I think that's where we're gonna cut it.
Yeah.
This scene, guys, was coming up. This was like a proof of concept,
Right.
almost. Making sure we could do it right. Super Bijo, did the Dragon Engine give us any logistical problems in localization? No, it actually solved
A
lot.
Of problems.
It's a huge step up compared to,
Oi.
especially compared to where we were at with like Yakuza 5, which was
Yes,
just this nightmare of a thing to have to try to localize. The Dragon Engine is built for the future.
Mm-hmm.
Built for the future, and we're constantly putting in new. It's just improving almost daily basis. So, oh, here we go.
Here it is.
Your favorite scene?
Yeah, I've seen this a lot. Nothing was wrong with the Y5 engine. It just wasn't built for
It
localization.
just wasn't built for localization.
お客さんこっちの人やないね。旅行でこっちへ来たん？
いや、
じゃあお仕事？
まあそんなところだ。
おい、女子の数が少ないやないけ。支配人はどこにおるんや。
ちょっと目合わせたらあかん。この辺で有名な薬剤師さんなんやって。
はい、お呼びでしょうか。
関西でわしらのテーブルこないに寂しいする店他にないで。
すみません。
頭下げる暇あんねやったら色っぽい姉ちゃん餃子引っ張
I'm
ってこ
getting
んかい。
I'm getting nervous on this guy's behalf, man.
もうええ。親分さん、ありがとうございます。
親分さんさすがやわ。貫禄あるな。
当たり前やがな。お前さんこの仕事してて親父のこと知らんのかい。未来の近江連合のドン、関西の竜や。覚えときや。
へえ。
Setting these drinks down at the exact same time. That's that PS2 magic happening.
どないしました？あ、 こいつのせいでか。
ちゃうわ。お前今何言うた？覚えとらんのかい？
This guy's fucked.
自分なんか
親父さんの前で言うたらあかんことがあるやろ。
いや
ええからはよ謝らんかい。
すみませんでした。
Yeah, put your head to the floor.
On the
bro.
floor.
On the floor.
As low as it gets.
みっともないで。はよ席座らんかい。
Evacuate the women. Guy's sweating. He's like,
it's hot. It's Kansai.
It's Kansai. But oh wait, is this not December? Are we still in December?
Yeah. But it's Kansai.
I don't think that's why.
They're always talking about how hot it is. I don't know.
2年です。
Have a drink.
Maybe have a drink.
親父。
で、さっき言うたこと思い出したんかい。
Look at this. Look at the effects on this, like on this whiskey down here. Like, look at the effects on that. It's so good. It's so good, dude. Looks good. They made it look really nice.
飲めや。
はい。いただきます。
It's the Yakuza 6 water effect for the Deputy Muso.
これで思い出したやろ。はよ言うてみいやこれ。
Oh man.
関西の竜。
Oh man.
Uh-oh.
Kiryuwai.
Kiryu's sticking his nose in it.
Kiryuwai, don't do it.
関西の竜って言ったんだ。
He's like, I'm not interested in this guy anymore.
ちょっとあんた。
酒がまずくなるぞ。
落ち着かねえ店だ。
You're making the drinks taste bad.
あれよくも口にしたの。
おめえらがもう一度聞きたいと
人の話盗み聞きしくさってこら。
あれだけでかい声で喋られたら嫌でも耳に入るぜ。
Oh man. That bottle hit. The kid's like, nope. No, you didn't.
踊れなめくさって大阪湾に沈めたのか。覚悟せや。
Fools. Don't you know who I am?
So I'm seeing a lot of people ask about the engines, what the evolution of the engines are. Just so you guys understand, at least what I think our impression is that remember that a game engine is not just the graphic portion. There's a back-end part of it as well that handles all the data, that handles the scripting, that handles how the events play out. Like all that is part of a game engine. It's not just the graphical aspect of it. So from what we understand is that the engine that was built initially for Yakuza 1 was in continuous use all the way up to Kiwami. Like it's the same. Yeah, the graphic part has been revised and certain aspects have been revised, but that tech was built on PS2 and has been modified continuously over the past 10 years. But that's why the Dragon engine is like so revolutionary for this development team, because it's an engine that was built completely from scratch based on PS4.
Settle in, boys. This is a long cutscene.
もうお帰りですか。お前らといると酒がまずくなる。あんたは大した男や。気に入った。さっきのお詫びとしておごらせてください。断る。近江合流会のおごりですせ。わしの顔立てたってくださいや。合流会。よっしゃ。この店で一番高い酒持ってこいや。はい。ほんまにええ度胸しとるわ。うちの組にもあんたほどの男はおりませんわ。関東の方やな。ああ。そうやろな。 あんたほどの人が関西におったらすぐに噂が広まりますさかいに。お近づきの印にお名前教えてもらえまへんやろか。これは失礼。わしは近江連合合流会2代目の合田隆二。
Why call him a patriarch?
Because he's not he's not the head of the Omi Alliance. He's not a chairman. And also, one of the things is that we often called kaichos. There was association with kaicho being a chairman and a kumicho being a patriarch. But we changed how that was all being played out.
We rewrote the entire Yakuza hierarchy for Zero. So, patriarch, captain, lieutenant.
Yeah, so he's not a chairman because he's not.
Yeah, chairman, patriarch, captain.
We're not using chairman as an analog for kaicho. We're using chairman as an analog for the head of the entire organization.
Right. Them eyes, them brows.
いや、そんな男は知らねえ。
兄さんも人が悪いわ。驚かさんといてください。まあでも本物なわけないわな。本物やったら。
But see, this interchange is so Japanese because like they're saying one thing, but each of them know what the other person is really saying.
Yep.
Like that's such a Japanese conversation.
Yep.
Say the one thing, but you know what I really mean. It's a parlay. It's like this like high level parlay. Or whatever.
Yes, it's really high level. It's good. It's really good.
わし関西の竜と呼ばれんのが気に入らんのです。竜はまだ関西が嫌なんです。竜に関西も堂島もありゃしません。極道の世界で竜と呼ばれる男。
That's the tagline. That's the game.
That's the game.
でええんですわ。あんたもそう思いますやろ。
まあな。
まあな。
あんたとは気が合いますな。これも何かの縁や。ついでにもっとええ話教えさせてもらいます。今夜の12時ちょうど。カムロ中に派手な花火がドカンと。
Is this the original VO or did they
redid him?
They redid him?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. It's so good. You compared it?
一世一代の祭りが始まるんや。
Because they probably can do, because probably when they originally did the original VO, they may not have had all the motion, all the animations ready. So now they can actually watch it and go, okay, this is how it's going to do.
死ぬ。何？それでわしは本物の竜になる。
Kansai is pretty thick.
少し喋りすぎました。まあ、桐生さんはごゆるりとくつろいでってください。
It's not a different VA. It's the same guy. Just a read.
一つ言い忘れましたわ。
Brought back the same guy. Kiryu did all. I want to say most of his lines again. Majima did most of his lines again. Fresh take on Yakuza 2.
So it's totally. Play it again because it's going to be a different experience. Like it'll feel different this time. It'll be playing the same game again for the first time. The all the camera cuts are all original, or the same as the original one.
Right, like just like Kiwami.
Yeah.
Just like Kiwami, where it's just.
Because if they don't keep all the camera cuts, here's the thing that happens, guys, is that if it's not on screen, no one did anything with it. So like, if a camera pans off. And there was a guy who was on screen, and when he goes off screen, no one goes in there and like fixes him if they change the camera angle. Like there's no reason to do that. So
there we have it. Right at 1 o'clock. Good timing.
Yeah, we're good. We're good at our job. So that's it. So this is gonna be us sign off for the future
for at least a little while.
For everyone who's joined us over the past months.
Thank you.
As we've march towards Yakuza 6. We really appreciate your support and for coming in. These streams do live online forever. So share them with your friends, and please stay tuned. We will be back in the future with not just Yakuza but other content as well.
Not me. I'm over it. Yakuza's my jam.
He'll be back.
Maybe I'll be back.
He'll be back. But
this one. But we only
did
have 4 months. 4 months, guys.
months.
Beat YC because this is coming.
It's coming.
Get on the next
You don't need any other games. You guys, most of you guys are all like, "Oh, Yakuza every day, all day, and
Yeah,
not
we
even
see
care."
you picking
Well,
that
all
option.
right. Well, we will
Get
see.
on board.
We will see.
The train is made its quick stop and it's back on the tracks.
So thanks again, guys, for joining us. We'll see you next time. Have a
Thank
good
you.
one and have a great weekend.
生きるか死ぬかの怪我だ。どういうことだ。